Hi, you've got the Short O Mastery Kit. Let's talk about how to use it. All right, my order of presentation of vowels are A, I, O, U, and E. So currently we are looking at the Short O Mastery Kit, which means we are also going to be seeing Short I and Short A because my work is cumulative. So once we start working with Short O, that would mean that Short I and Short A are probably mastered. If they're not mastered, I would encourage you to go back to perhaps short A and master that before you move along. You're going to find that students stumbling, and it's much easier for them to master one vowel at a time and before you add the others. So short O today, star of the game. So how are we going to use the items in the kit? We have a user guide. The user guide has a ton of information in it. Each book has a list of vocabulary words, questions for you to talk to your students about to see if they're actually reading the words or they're comprehending what they're reading. It's going to give you information about what's in the book itself or what I was thinking about when I was writing the book and how the thoughts that I had on the particular topics. Your user guide is going to give you words that you might want to check out ahead of time with your kids. Like, for example, irregular words. Irregular words are words like the and So THE, right now the student only knows T to say t and H to say and E to say they probably don't even know what E says at this point. So that word the is completely irregular to them because TH is going to say th and E is going to say but we say So the, like that's a crazy word. So we just teach the students the words. The, the, irregular. So use use the user guide. So the user guide is there to help you. These are the short O bug books. You're going to find that at the back of all of the books is going to be lists, and some of the books are going to have 2 or possibly 3 columns of words. One of them is just going to be short O words. One of them is going to be short A and short I words, and the other list is going to be irregular words. So read those lists with your kids. You can read them before you read the books. You can read them after you read the books. You can read them both times, which would be ideal. Those lists are going to be what you want your students to be automatic with. So we are looking for automaticity and accuracy. And that sounds like a student talking. So if your student is still really choppy and struggles with blending, I again say go back to short A. Here's the wooden card holder, which is so cute. I had 2 friends of mine do it. One, a woman that lives in Grand Rapids, Minnesota, and another one that lives up north here. In Minnesota, we say up north if you're going up to the lake country, which is where I live. And he made these for me. So it's really exciting, perfect for little hands. I designed them so that the students can put the cards in the card holder. They can still play their games and they are able to trace the words if they need to. So tracing is something that we do with Orton Gillingham, or they take the 2 fingers in their writing hand, put it on a rough surface like the table or their pants or pant leg or a chair or whatever, and they look at the sounds of the word. So they might say b, a, g. So they're looking at the letters, they're doing that phoneme grapheme association, and they're tracing those sounds out. And we want them to pull it together as quickly as we possibly can. So Don, Ron, and John are found in this very huge deck of cards. The ON at the end of this word is called a rhyme. It's spelled R-I-M-E. The letter coming before it is called the onset. So we have these word families with the onset and the rhymes. And so you can play the game as the cards say, the directions say, or go ahead and do whatever you want. Use them for flashcards. Separate out just a couple word families if it feels too overwhelming to your students. Play with only the wild cards. Do whatever you want, but just have fun with the game. The important part is that the kids are reading the words over and over again. Remember, repetition is going to lead them to that automaticity and accuracy that we're looking for. Another way to get there is to play the tic-tac-toe games. So the tic-tac-toe games are all on this really cool synthetic paper, I think that you probably are feeling right now. We're going to use those little magnetic wands and the pieces. Each person gets their own color. They're going to put the chip on the board. They're going to read the word. You guys play, erase with your magic wand, play again, play over and over again. We're going to find the word families on certain pages. Like here, we've got the OG ones. And that would be like one word family or a rhyme. And then we've got mixed pages too. We will also have mixed pages in there that have A and I in there too. So that's really fun because we're bringing back the other words. And whiteboard. Okay, of course, like everyone knows that spelling is as important as reading. In my OG training many, many, many years ago, I was told that spelling trumps reading. So if your students are still struggling with spelling, we're not going to move ahead. We're going to make sure that they can spell those words, that they can sound them out, that they're able to decode the words as they're writing them. So writing is called encoding and reading is called decoding. But we're still, when we say the word to them, bog, they're going to go b, ah, g. And then they're going to transfer that information that they've got and they're going to go to their board and go b, ah, g. And then when they're all done writing the words, the more the merrier. I mean, if you can get them to read or write 10, 15 words, and then you have them read those words back, they're not only are they sounding them out as they write them, they're also reading them afterwards. So it's a lot of great practice. Alrighty, more information. What I don't have listed on here is I have a blog. And if you want to just wander over to my blog and you're wondering about that short A information that I mentioned earlier about the fact how important it was for them to get short A, there is a blog post on short A there. So you might want to read that. The other thing that a lot of people find handy are the phoneme grapheme cards. I just refer to them as my sound pack. So you can download one off my website. It's free and you can print it out on a cardstock and then just cut it apart. All 44 graphemes are going to be in this deck of cards, but what's not going to be in there is, well, what you don't want, let me rephrase that. What you don't want in your deck when you're showing the students is anything that they haven't already learned. So you can use the consonants, you can use the vowels that they're working on right now, A, I, and O, and you can put those in there. You can flash the cards and they will tell you what the sounds are. So if you have questions about that, I have office hours. So just send me an email. I'll send you a Zoom link and we can meet on a Monday and we can talk all about it. And we can talk about anything else that you need to. So I would love to meet you. This has been great for me to be able to share my information with you. Please reach out. Thank you so much.